Good morning everybody, and once again welcome you all to this next video lesson of Socialism in Europe and Russian Revolution. In our previous video we have read about Revolution of 1905. In this video we will proceed from February Revolution. Actually you already have read, our respected Poril sir have taught you about February Revolution and October Revolution. But we have three periods in this week, and we could have a quick review of those very important topic of this chapter. So that's why in this video we will begin from the February Revolution in Petrograd. So you already know Petrograd, old name of this Petrograd was St. Petersburg, and St. Petersburg was renamed as it was the name of a German origin, and that's why it was renamed as Petrograd. Later on Petrograd once again was renamed as Leningrad when Vladimir Lenin formed their own government, and after that once again it was renamed as St. Petersburg. Nowadays it is known as St. Petersburg. So we are reading about the February Revolution in Petrograd. Now, to begin, the layout of the city Petrograd emphasized the division among its people. The way this city was established revealed the discriminatory nature of the Russian society among proletarian and bourgeois, among poor strata and the rich strata. So you could find this city is divided into two parts by a river called Neva. So river Neva divide this city into two parts, left bank and right bank. So if you will see the layout of the city, most influential people reside in the left bank of the river Neva, whereas workers reside in the right bank. Workers and poor strata of the society, especially they settle in the right bank of the river Neva. Fashionable areas, Winter Palace, Torrid Palace where sitting of Duma occurred, Torrid Palace, official buildings, all it lies in the left bank of the river Neva, and in the right bank you will find workers' quarter and factories. So this layout of the city St. Petersburg or Petrograd reveal discriminatory nature of Russian society. Now what was the condition in February 1917? It was green. Food shortage were deeply felt in the workers' quarter. There were extreme food shortage. The winter was very cold. There had been exceptional frost and heavy snow. That means due that crop failure occurred and the economic severity increases. Actually it was the impact of First World War that adversely affected the economy of the people, but the winter, exceptional frost, heavy rainfall also aggravate the harsh condition. Then parliamentarian wishing to preserve elected government. There was rumor that Tsar Nicholas were thinking about dissolving the Duma, but the Duma leader did not want that it should be dissolved. They wanted to preserve it, but on 22nd February, so due to this adverse condition, on 22nd February, a lockout took place at a factory on the right bank. So we already came to know factories or workers, they usually reside in the right bank of river Neva. So on 22nd February, a lockout took place at factory on the right bank of river Neva. Next day, on 23rd February, according to Julian calendar, and 8th March according to Gregorian calendar. So on 23rd February, in support of the striking worker, 50 more factories came in support of the striking worker, and they also joined the strike. And in this strike, women were in leading role. In this strike on 23rd February, women were in the leading role, and that's why this day is celebrated as International Women's Day. In many factories, women led the way to strike. That's why it is celebrated as International Women's Day. At this stage, the striking worker did not have any political leader, or they did not have any leader. It was a revolution, but leaderless revolution. At the fashionable quarter and official buildings were surrounded by workers, the government imposed a curfew. As the situation became severe, number of striking workers increases and their protest also gathered momentum, and due that curfew was imposed in the city. So demonstrators dispersed by the evening. On 23rd by the evening, demonstrators dispersed due to the curfew that was imposed, but they again defined the curfew. They again came back on 24th and 25th of February. Now the government called out the cavalry to keep an eye on them. And on Sunday, 25th February, as it was initially rumored that Tsar Nicholas is thinking to dissolve the Duma, so Duma was dissolved on Sunday, 25th February. The government suspended the Duma. Now let's see the revolution by the striking workers that begin on 22nd did not have any leader. It was leaderless revolution. But when Duma was suspended, the Duma leader came in support of the striking worker. Now these striking workers got support of Duma leaders, and Duma leaders started leading these striking workers. The demonstration that was earlier leaderless, now Duma leader started organizing them. Politicians spoke out against the measure of dissolving the Duma. Demonstrators returned in force to the street of the left bank on the 26th. They crossed River Neva, now came to the left bank. The demonstrator now came to the left bank where influential people, Winter Palace or government quarter, etc. was there. It was surrounded by them, and they were raising slogans. The street thronged with the people. They were raising slogans like bread, wages, better hours. Better hour means better condition, fixed working hour and better working condition in the factories. So bread, wages, better hours, and most important, democracy. Now the government tried to control the situation. The government tried to control the situation. Once again the cavalry were called and they were ordered to fire upon the crowd. But even among the army, they were not very happy with the Tsar or royalty, and that's why they refused to fire upon the crowd, and actually they joined hand with the striking worker. So now you could understand, the ruler did not have support of their military. A kind of mutiny, withdrew among the sepoys, among the police force, among the armed forces of the royalty also was on the way. So however the cavalry refused to fire on the demonstrator. Now mutiny occurred among the army. Army leaders joined the striking workers. And together army leaders and striking workers together formed Petrograd Soviet. Army leader and striking workers together formed Petrograd Soviet. Soviet means that is Assembly of People, Congress or Soviet, Assembly of People organization. So striking workers and army leaders together form Petrograd Soviet. Then now let's see. Tsar Nicholas did not have support of army. They did not have support of the people, and they also did not have support of the political leaders. How he could rule? So that's why there were no other option for Tsar Nicholas II rather than abdicate the throne. So military commander advised him to abdicate. He followed their advice, and on 2nd March 1917, Tsar Nicholas II abdicates the throne. Soviet leaders now, Soviet leaders and Duma leaders. Soviet leader, who were in the Soviet leader? Army leaders as well as the striking worker. Army leader and the striking workers together had formed Petrograd Soviet. So as Petrograd Soviet was formed, several such Soviet begins to be formed everywhere in Europe, everywhere in Russia. So this Soviet leader and Duma leader together form a provisional government, a caretaker government. So Petrograd had led the February Revolution that brought down the monarchy in February 1917. Petrograd had led the February Revolution that brought down the monarchy in February 1917. And that was the end of 300-year rule of Romanov dynasty. So actually we have read initially that Russian Empire was formed initially by the Rurikid dynasty, and after Rurikid dynasty this Romanov had established their rule over Russia. So dynastic rule, Russia have only two major dynastic rule. One was of Rurikid dynasty and after that Romanov dynasty. So in this February Revolution, the house of Romanov that rule over Russia from 1613 to 1917 comes to an end. So that was the end of Romanov rule in Russia. Now if we will try to emphasize what were the causes of this February Revolution. So there were political and economic instability during the war. Without the consultation of Duma, Tsar Nicholas decided to involve Russia into war. So Duma leaders were not happy with the decision of the royalty, and that's why confrontation always occurred between Duma leaders and Tsar Nicholas. So political instability always remained. First Duma was suspended, then second Duma. So actually there were conditions of political instability as well as the situation of war brought extreme economic severity to the people. Also due to bad harvest, due to excessive frost, cold, there were extreme scarcity of food. That means economic instability was there. So one major cause of February Revolution was political and economic instability in Russia. Fundamental social division. We already seen that proletarian society and bourgeois. There were discrimination of the proletarian by the bourgeois. That means poor strata of the society were being exploited by the aristocracy and the monarchy. So the French society की ही तरह Russian society also have a fundamental social division. So that also was major cause of the February Revolution. The gross mismanagement of the war effort. Gross mismanagement of the war effort means what? कि at every important front Russian army were getting humiliating defeat. So the common people blame Tsar Nicholas for its humiliating defeat, and they blame that it was due to mismanagement, war mismanagement by, although to pacify the people once Tsar Nicholas announced that he will lead from the front, and he went to war himself. But even though when he was army chief of the armed forces, but their other commanders were not happy with the decision that is being taken by Tsar Nicholas at the war front. So also this news is spread among the people. So that means it revealed the inability of Tsar Nicholas as army commander also there. So it was gross mismanagement of the war effort that also provoked the people in favor of the revolution. So gross mismanagement of the war effort. Outrageous scandals surrounding the monarchy. So several kind of scandalous rumor is spread among the people. It was common perception among most of the people in Russia that Tsarina along with Rasputin was German spy. So also rumor was about the relationship of Tsarina and Rasputin. So such kind of scandalous rumor also was among the people, and due that royalty lost its morality to rule over Russia. This royal family became very unpopular among the people. So outrageous scandals surrounding the monarchy, spreading of Western democratic ideas. So also several philosophers during that time, even after the French Revolution, several philosophers were spreading their ideas in favor of democracy. So Russian people also were influenced by this democratic spread of democratic ideas. So in nutshell, all these were major causes of February Revolution. Now Duma leader and Soviet leader together formed a provisional government. Provisional government was established. Army official, landowner and industrialist. Army official, landowners and industrialists were influential in this provisional government. That means you could say कि even in this provisional government, upper strata of the society were ruling. Army official, landowner, industrialist, and they were not very careful about the welfare of peasants and workers. This provisional government was not very careful about the welfare of peasants and workers. Their demands were ignored by this provisional government. So people were not happy even with this provisional government. Although the situation began to change in April 1917 with the return of Vladimir Lenin into Russia from exile. So it was the time period when Vladimir Lenin returned to Russia from exile. तो he was in exile, that means उनको देश से निकाल दिया गया था, and especially during the First World War, Bolshevik were in opposition to join the war for Russia, and due to his rigorous opposition, he was sent to exile. So when this provisional government was established, when Tsar Nicholas abdicated, so he now could return. So in April 1917, the Bolshevik leader Vladimir Lenin returned to Russia from exile. After his return, he put forward three important demands to this provisional government. This demand were: war be brought to close, land be transferred to the peasants, banks be nationalized. So these demands of Vladimir Lenin in April is famously known as Lenin's April thesis. Now Bolshevik too were confused that what Lenin wanted. Just now provisional government had been formed, so they thought that this provisional government should be given some time and we should patiently wait that how this provisional government works. But Lenin has different ideas in his mind. He was thinking something different. He had some plan in his mind. Lenin gave his April thesis declaring that the proletarian should overthrow the bourgeois. The poor peasantry and workers, they should overthrow the bourgeois, the influential government of influential people. So Lenin gave his April thesis declaring that the proletarian should overthrow the bourgeois. Now he also argued that the Bolshevik party rename itself Communist Party to indicate its new radical aim. Communist Bolshevik Party was renamed as Communist Party. In industrial area, factory committees were formed. Now this factory committee started regulating industries. They started dictating that how industry should be done. As after the establishment of provisional government, the ban to form organization were lifted. That's why several trade unions were established. Soldiers committee also were formed in the army. Soldiers committee also were formed in the army. And in June, about 500 Soviets sent representative to an all-Russian Congress of Soviet. We already have read that as Petrograd Soviet was formed, similarly several Soviet was formed in Russia. Several such kind of political organization was formed in Russia. All those political organization that was formed there in Russia, so those political organization were known as Soviet, and this Soviet, different Soviets sent their own representative to all Russian Congress of Soviet. So now it takes shape of a universal Soviet of Russia, all Russian Congress of Soviet. The All Russian Congress of Soviet evolved from 1917, become the supreme governing body of the Russian Soviet Federative Socialist Republic from 1918 till 1936. So it remained in government in 1918 to 1936, or actually Bolsheviks, Mensheviks, Socialist Revolutionary, all are part of this All Russian Congress of Soviet. We will discuss about this later on also. Now, popular demonstration begins in all over Russia. This demonstration was organized by the Soviets, different kind of Soviet at different places that was established. So this protest was organized by Soviet as well as Bolsheviks. Revolutionary peasants also started revolutionary activities such as they seized land between July and September 1917 from the landlords. So socialist, revolutionary, Soviets, Bolsheviks all were demonstrating or protesting against this provisional government. And most eminent protest begins to be done by the Bolsheviks. Although stern measures were taken to suppress this Bolshevik uprising. Okay, socialist revolutionary as well as Soviet also were organizing protest, but they also wanted the support of Bolsheviks, and somewhere Bolshevik independently or somewhere with the Soviets, demonstration or protest activities were demonstration activities were organized by them. So several such incidents of demonstration, protest and repression by the army occurred throughout the July. So that's why in Russian history this is known as July days. The condition of unrest all over the Russia, especially in the city, in the capital city also. So this is known as July days in Russian history. A pro-Bolshevik demonstration, one figure is given in your book in which army fired upon a pro-Bolshevik demonstration on 17 July 1917. So such incident occurred in several parts, and numerous such incidents occurred during the July days. So that's why in Russian history it is termed as July days. So that's all for this video. In the next video we will discuss about October Revolution and what happened after that. Thanks for watching and have a nice day.